Good morning. I would like to call the 85th annual membership meeting of Presque Isle Electric and Gas to order. Can everyone hear me in the back? Yes? My wife gave me one of these. I'm good. So today we have a presentation of colors that's being given by the Onaway VFW Post. 5857 is providing the color guard this morning. And if you would please silence your phones, that would be helpful. And if you would please rise for the presentation of colors. Gentlemen, remove your hats. And then once they're up front, join Mr. Sobek in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you.
Half left, move, present, hunt.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, hunt.
Please remain standing, and we will have the invocation given by Mr. Ron Horrocks.
Half right, move.
Dear Lord, as we gather today on the 85th annual meeting of the Presque Isle Electric and Gas, we give you thanks for all your blessings in our lives, for our good health, and for the daily comforts you provide. We pray for everyone present here today, for their families, for all the people throughout the world. We're grateful to our public servants and those who served and now serve in the military, and for their personal sacrifices for their safety and the security of the nation. We ask that you bless us and our leaders and the leaders of all the nations and the Presque Isle Electric Board, the employees, management staff, with your wisdom, integrity, and compassion. Grant us your grace and guidance so that we may live each day to our fullest potential. Lord, we ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Detail, tench. Half left, present, hunt. Order, hunt. At ease. Out, face.
Thank you, Mr. Horrocks, and the members of the 5857 VFW Post for your participation today. You may be seated. On behalf of the Board of Directors and the employees of Presque Isle Electric and Gas Co-op, I'd like to welcome you to the 85th annual meeting. My name is John Brown. I am the Vice Chair of the Board of Directors, and I am serving as the Chairman today as Alan Berg is unable to attend. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce the Co-op Board of Directors to you, starting with our attorney and CEO, Mr. Mike Echtel, and Mr. Tom Sobek. If the directors, if you'd please stand as I call out your name and remain standing. From the Sheboygan District, we have Sandy Borowitz. We have Sally Knopp from our at-large district. We have Kurt Kronyak from our Alpena district. Brent Lucas is also from the Alpena district. Daryl Peterson from the Mount Morency district. Charlie Arbor from the Mount Morency district. Ray Wozniak from the Presqu'île district. And as I said before, absent is Alan Berg today as our chairman. Directors, you may be seated. Thank you. Employees now. At this time, I'd like to thank or let our employees introduce themselves by coming up to the podium one by one. It helps you to put a face to the name.
Good morning. Welcome to your annual meeting. My name is Norma Ellenberger. I am the Supervisor of Data Processing, and I've been here 37 years. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Randy Stemke. I'm the Chief Financial Officer at Presqu'île Electric and Gas, and I've been here nearly 25 years.
Good morning. I'm Wesley Repke. I'm a system engineer here at Presqu'île, and I've been here for 7 years.
Once again, welcome and thank you for coming this morning. My name is Tade Price. I am an IT programmer and software specialist, and I have been with the co-op for 11 years.
Hi everyone, I'm Scott Hartung. I'm the Security and Systems Specialist here. I've been with the co-op for 5 years.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Carrie Schlieben. I am a process accounting manager, and I've been here for 16 years.
Good morning. I'm Andy Grambo, Electric Tech Records Clerk, and I've been here for 2 years.
Hello, Emily Tellini, and I'm account representative, and I've been here for 34 years.
Michelle Mulbacher, Plant Accounting Manager, 24 years.
Hello, I'm Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm IT Tech, Junior IT Tech. I've been here for a little less than a year.
Good morning, happy Friday. I'm Thomas McFall. I'm an IT Tech. I've been here 6 months.
Morning, everyone. My name is Rick Kalashewski, and I am the Director of Information Systems here at the co-op, and I've been here 33 years.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Heather Homan. I'm a work order clerk, and I've been here 31 years.
Hello, my name is Deanna DeMestri. I'm the Safety Coordinator, and I've been with PIEG for 7 years.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Larson. I'm the Director of Human Resources, and I've been here just over 2 years.
Morning, everyone. Joanne Young. I'm Purchasing Manager, and I have been here for 9 months.
Hello, everyone. I'm Melissa Van Schoten. I'm Executive Assistant, and I've been here for 2 years.
Good morning. I'm Ruth Ann Largent. I'm the Director of Broadband Operations, and I've been here for 2 years.
Hello, Chase Caldwell, Network Engineer for PIEG Connect. I've been here 2 years.
Good morning. I'm Scott Ash. I've been with the co-op for 1.5 years.
Good morning. I'm Jason MacArthur. I'm a senior service technician. I've been here almost a year.
Hello, I'm Caitlin Beebe. I'm in data processing, and I've just been around 8 months.
Good morning. I'm Matt Millay, and I've been in building maintenance technician for 6 months now.
Good morning. I'm Anthony Malton. I am janitor custodian. I've been here for 11 months.
I would like to thank all the employees involving in the planning of our annual meeting today, this year, as well as those on the job today. These men and women do an outstanding job every day to provide excellence and service to our community. I think I speak, or I know I speak, for the entire board of directors when I say it's an honor and a privilege to serve our members. You have put our trust in us, and we take our role very seriously. I want to remind all of you that as a member, you are free to attend our monthly board meetings held on the fourth Tuesday of the month at our co-op. If you have a question, please feel free to contact the co-op or a director. I will now appoint Attorney Mike Echtel to conduct the business portion of our meeting today. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Brown, and good morning, everyone. Welcome to your annual meeting. Again, my name is Mike Echtel. I'm the co-op attorney. I've been around for about 5 years with the co-op. I'm also a member residing in the Sheboygan District, so I'm excited to be here today, and I'm excited to see all of you here today. So the next item on the agenda is the reading of the notice of today's meeting. The notice of the 2022 annual meeting appeared in Country Lines magazine, and at this time I would entertain a motion to dispense with the reading of that notice. Is there such a motion? Okay, I've got a motion. Is there a support for that motion? I've got a motion and a support down here in the front row. This is a motion to dispense with the reading of the notice of today's meeting. All those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye. Are there any opposed to that motion? That motion carries. The next item on the agenda is the reading of the 2021 minutes and action thereon. A copy of the minutes of the 2021 annual meeting was made available prior to today's meeting. At this time, I'd entertain a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the 2021 annual membership meeting. Is there such a motion? I have a motion here in the second row. Is there a support for that? Got a support from Mr. Taylor. All of those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? Hearing no opposition, that motion carries. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Hearing no proposed corrections, I would now entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the 2021 annual membership meeting as presented. Got a motion. Is there a support for that motion? I have a motion and a support. All of those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? Nay. Okay, the ayes have it. So that motion carries. The next item on the agenda is the election of directors. So we will now move to the nominations for directors of Presque Isle Electric and Gas Co-op. This year we have 3 terms expiring, 2 in the Alpena District and 1 in the Presque Isle District. I would like to remind everyone that there are 3 ways to make a nomination for director. They are by the nominating committee, which met this past July, by petition, and by nomination from the floor. In accordance with Article 3, Section 3 of our bylaws, the nominating committee is selected to prepare nominations for directors consisting of the names of at least 2 members from each district or geographical area. Nominating Committee Chairman Elias Taratuta will now present the committee's nominees for director of Presque Isle Electric and Gas Co-op. Mr. Taratuta.
The nominating committee for Presque Electric and Gas Co-op met on June 29th and also on July 20th for the purpose of nominating individuals for the position of directors for the co-op. For the Alpena District, the committee nominated Kurt Kroniak, Brent Lucas, Eric Smith, and Warren Sprague. For the Presque District, the committee nominated Raymond Wozniak, Linda Diamond, and Mary Hinkowski. There weren't any open seats in Sheboygan and Montmorency districts, so that concluded the nominations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Teratuta. You have heard the report of the nominating committee. The co-op did not receive any nominations by petition. Are there any nominations for director from the floor? I will ask again, are there any nominations for director from the floor? Going once? Any nominations for director from the floor? Going twice? Okay, hearing none, I would ask for a motion to close nominations for director from the floor at this time. Is there such a motion? Okay, I've got a motion. Support for that motion? Okay, motion to close nominations for director from the floor. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? That motion carries. At this time, I would like to introduce the director nominees and invite them to comment on their candidacy if they wish to do so. It's not required. I would only ask if you're not going to exercise your option to comment on your candidacy, just please stand and be recognized. First, in no particular order, from the Alpena District, I'd like to introduce to you Kurt Kroniak.
Thank you, Mike. Good morning, everybody. And I get the honor of going first, so that's interesting. But they were teasing me when I rode up with a couple of my fellow directors that I have a speech planned. I says, nope, I'm just winging it and no speech. But I will say, in our magazine, you know, we're given like 125 words to describe ourselves, but I usually don't say much about myself or my history. But I'm Kurt Kroniak. I'm from Alpena. I grew up right on the county line from Alpena and Presque County. 7 kids in our family, small dairy farm. My dad was a carpenter. So many of us of our generation, that's kind of common, that you grow up with big families and you work hard and you don't have a lot of money and you live in rural America. So that's kind of how I started. Went to trade schools, worked for GT and Verizon, retired out after almost probably 35 years, and then I contracted with in the communication world when they sold us out to Frontier. That was time to exit out. So I've been around the utility industry my whole career. I've been around poles, roads, projects, budgets, work orders, customers chewing me out. I've been on all kind of activities in our industry. So that gives me a good background that when I kind of got down to the end of my career, the Presque board was a great fit for me with my background, and I had the time to do it. And so the only thing I will say is on our board, we have a good board. We take it very seriously. Many of us, you know, you grow up like I grew up. You might think we spend a ton of money. We do these projects. Some of them are overdue. The new building, we probably should have done it years ago. So when we're in our meetings, we take it very seriously. And especially when it comes down to the budget stuff, like myself, you know, there's a fair amount of squawking that goes on. This stuff doesn't happen easy, and I just want to let the membership know that, like for myself, I'm working for you every time I'm on the board, and that's my main goal is to look out for the membership. I appreciate your support. I appreciate being on the board, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kroniak. Next is Brent Lucas.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Brent Lucas, and I'm a lifelong resident of Wellington Township, where my family, we started out a small farm of our own, and I also farm with my parents, dairy farm, and my youngest brother. And I have 4 kids that my wife and I have been very busy with from ages 16, I'm going to be 17 in a couple weeks, down to 4. And I'm very involved in our community, doing different community activities. I'm heavily involved in 4-H and the stuff that goes around with that, and the county fairs, and volunteering time whenever I can. And I've also been on the board for a few elections now, 3 I think. And I'm involved on some of our committees through the board. I'm on the fiber committee and the property grounds committee. A couple really hot topics that's been going around the co-op world with the new building and our fiber coming. Lots of meetings, lots of good stuff coming out of that. It's been a real joy working with the other directors on the board. We all get along, and we get, you know, like Kurt said, there's lots of discussion in the boardroom. Nothing's ever gone by just going over it. We're digging pretty deep into some things and making sure it's right for you members and everybody that's involved. That's pretty much it about me, and I'd really appreciate a vote to serve another three-year term as your director in Alpena District. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lucas. Next is Mr. Eric Smith.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you can hear me. My name is Eric Smith. I am a candidate for the board of directors. There are 2 Eric Smiths in Alpena County. One is the sheriff, one is the president of panel processing, and is the Green Township supervisor. I am not the sheriff, so I am a well-experienced businessman in the community. I sit on a number of boards. I sit on the hospital board, for example. I'm sorry, I will try to stay a little closer to this. I serve on the hospital board in Alpena County. I've been in the business here in town for 31 years. I've been a Presque Isle Electric customer for about 26 years. My wife and I live in Lachine. If you go and stand on Manning Hill at the observation deck and look north, you're looking at my farm. I raise cattle there for a hobby. It keeps me plenty busy. So I got some tips this morning, and the suggestion was for the longer you talk, the more votes you lose. So I won't be talking for very long. I do appreciate those that have voted for me, and if you have not voted yet, please consider me as your candidate. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. And then finally, from the Alpena District, Mr. Warren Sprague.
Good morning, everyone. Hello to my fellow members, our esteemed staff from PIEG who keeps our lights on and our gas flowing and now connecting us to the world, and to all of our fellow guests and folks here from Onaway High School. My name is Warren Sprague. Some of you may know me by Clay, my middle name, but I'm the third. And of course, my oldest son is Warren the fourth. And I'm running for an opportunity to be on the board to represent my neighbors and friends in the Alpena district. I live in Alpena off Long Rapids Road, and I also have our family farm in Spratt near Beaver Lake. I come from a long lineage of farmers, teachers, and coaches, and people that have worked at Lafarge, so you may recognize my last name. And I too have a long distinguished career in the service industry. Over 30 years of production, distribution, customer service, and sales experience, and 20 years with the Aramark Corporation, where I helped them grow their bottom line, improve their footprint in the marketplace, and improve their customer service. And all of these things, I think, help make me uniquely qualified to help support the goals and efforts of PIEG as they look to grow their sales, grow their service, improve their customer service, and manage their bottom line for us as the members. Make no mistake, the utility industry is tough. Politics, coal versus nuclear, wind versus solar. It's complicated. And my goal is to learn as much about these things as possible so that I can understand my PIEG bill and help explain it to my neighbors and friends. So my degree is in business and communications from Michigan State, and I have a background in telecommunications as well. So I think these qualifications help support me in my goal to be part of the PIEG family. I'm very proud of my two sons. My oldest, Warren the fourth, is a policeman and a sniper in the Marine Reserves. And my youngest just graduated from the University of Akron, top in his class, and he's an intel analyst for the Department of Defense and also is an Army reservist, and his job is in intel as well. So again, my name is Warren Sprague. I thank you for the opportunity to be here today. I sure would appreciate your support for this board opportunity, as well as rooting for my MSU Spartans that are playing that other school in Ann Arbor this weekend. And I've asked for some divine intervention because I think Sparty has his hands full this year. So again, thank you for the opportunity today.
Thank you, Mr. Sprague. Next, I'd like to introduce the director candidates from the Presque Isle District, again in no particular order, starting with Ms. Linda Diamond.
Good morning. I am Linda Diamond. I have been a resident of this community for 27 years now. I met my husband downstate. We came up to the family home when he retired. I've been a substitute teacher for about 15 years, for about the first 15 years we were up here. I also did a lot of community service, especially with the Sheboygan History Center, where I was awarded Volunteer of the Year. I also was a business owner until recently. I owned Sheboygan Sun Shop for about 8 years. I recently sold it. I have a lot of spare time on my hands right now. So I would like to devote a lot more of it to the community. Just down the street from the electric company, I would love to be involved with it. I'm willing to do the research. I'm willing to do the classes. And I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Mary Hentkuski.
Hello, everyone. I feel a little green under the ears right now. My name is Mary Hentkuski. I am from the Colden area. I'm a lifelong resident there. I grew up on a huge potato farm. I'm a middle child. Even though there was 4 girls and 2 boys, it didn't matter if you were a girl or a boy on the farm. You did just as much work on the farm, whether you were a girl, which meant I was learning to drive a tractor, dig the potatoes, haul the potatoes, do whatever it took to help put food on our table. My husband and I have been married for 37 years. I've owned my own salon in my home for the last 30 years. I've raised 3 boys. I have 5 grandchildren. I am very involved in our community, very involved in our church. I am a DRE for the last 8 years, taught Holy Communion in class in our church, St. Casper's, for the last 17 years. I am now a custodial worker at our church, all-around maintenance person. I decided to run for this board because I'm very interested in the fiber optic area, but I feel that with the fiber optic, we will get more people to come back home to this area because now they can work from home. I have a son who lives in Salt Lake City, where both of him and his wife both work from home now. And I do know some people that have children that have moved back home because they want to live here, and they can now because of the internet service, and they are able to work from home. And I think with that, we can bring some of our young people back to our area, and that will help with everyone. Our small businesses need more people to help support everything, help our schools, help our small businesses. So with that being said, thank you for your vote and enjoy your day. Thank you.
And finally, Raymond Wozniak.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Raymond Berkey Wozniak. I am running for re-election for Presque Electric and Gas Board of Directors. I'm a lifelong resident of Presque County, member of the Michigan State Cooperative Board of Directors. I'm active as a firefighter for the Colton Fire Department. I'm a fireman since 1962, fire chief since 1967. Retired from U.S. Steel Plant Calcite in Rogers City as an electrician after 34 years of service. And some people ask me, where does Berkey come from? That's my nickname. And everybody calls me by Berkey. And where it came from, I was probably 7, 8 years old. I used to burp a lot. And they called me, what do you call you, Berkey? That's where it started, Berkey. So that's been there since probably 8 years old. So thank you for coming and appreciate your vote.
Thank you to all the director candidates. Next item on the agenda is the collection of ballots by the Election and Credentials Committee. If you've not already done so, please complete your voting. And at this time, I'm going to ask the Election and Credentials Committee to pick up the ballots. Results from the election will be available later today and be submitted for publication in area newspapers. While the ballots are being picked up, I'd like to thank the Election and Credentials Committee. They've done a tough job. It's very tedious work, but they're very thoroughly doing an excellent job with things. They're the ones that are going around now. We'd ask you to hold your ballots up so that they can see that you got them, and they're going to collect and tabulate those. And while they're doing that, we'll now move on to the next item on the agenda, which is our auditor's report. The 2021 audit was performed by I. Bailey. At this time, I would like to direct your attention to the screens on either side of the gym, as the audit report will be delivered via a recorded message from John Frostig of I. Bailey. Thank you very much.
Senior Audit Associate with PIEG from our Fargo office, and I was a part of the team that performed the financial statement audit. I'm here to report on the annual audit for the year ended December 31st, 2021. Overall, the objective of the financial statement audit to conduct it under generally accepted audit standards is to obtain a reasonable level of assurance that the financial statements, as presented, are free of material misstatements. In order to do this, we utilize a risk-based approach that helps us to identify specific areas and perceived risks to aid the performance of the audit and obtaining an understanding of management's internal controls. Management is responsible for the design, implementation, and maintenance of these controls, as well as maintaining financial records and compliance with applicable laws and regulations. During the audit, management provides us with access to the support for the amounts and disclosures on the financial statements. Audit procedures include examining and testing support for the amounts and disclosures reported on a test basis, as well as obtaining understanding of internal controls. We also assess any significant estimates utilized by management and the accounting principles used throughout the year. The audit was conducted over several months, with the beginning phase occurring prior to the end of the year. During this portion of the audit, we gained an understanding of the entity and conducted preliminary testing while on site. The majority of our testing occurred after the end of the year when our audit team was on site on January 31st. We concluded our testing procedures in the following weeks and issued the audit report April 11th. The call received a clean audit opinion. This opinion is a brief report that appears within the financial statements. Clean audit opinion is more precisely referred to as an unmodified opinion. This means that the financial statements have been prepared using accounting principles generally accepted in the United States of America, and they do not contain any material misstatements and are fairly presented. This auditor's report on financial statement audit is merely the auditor's professional opinion, based on audit work performed, and whether the financial statements were prepared in accordance with GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles, and are free from material misstatement. Here's a quick chart on the last 2 years of operations for the co-op. This year, the co-op had operating revenues of about $49.3 million and expenses of $51 million, resulting in a net operating loss of approximately $1.7 million. This is primarily due to an increase in operating and maintenance expense for the lines, related to some projects throughout the year, as well as outages due to storms. The balance sheet this year has seen significant increases, and these increases have occurred over the last 2 years. The total assets as of December 31st were $158.6 million. As the co-op continues to invest in fiber connectivity throughout the region, this coincides with an increase in the liabilities, as a majority of those additions are financed through debt. Thank you for your time and your attention, and hope you guys all have a great day.
Okay, since this is a recorded message, obviously there's not an opportunity to ask our auditor questions directly. However, if you do have questions for our auditor, we can take them now and then provide a response after we submit them to IEA. So does anyone have any questions related to this audit report? Yes, sir.
Are those charts that you just showed available to us? We can, yeah.
I'm told that they can be made available if they're not already. Any other questions regarding the audit report? Yes, sir.
I know there's many people here that are senior citizens, and I'm certainly one of them. And I don't need glasses to see distance. I do to read. But that print on there is pretty darn small. So I would ask next year, when you make this report, if it's going to be that way, that you use larger print, please.
Duly noted. From my seat, I don't disagree with you, sir. Thank you. Any other questions related to the audit? All right. We'll move on then to the next item on the agenda, which is the President and CEO report. And at this time, I introduce our President and CEO, Mr. Tom Sobek. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Can everybody hear me? Thank you. Okay. Apologize for the audit report quality, the audio and the sound. One of the remnants of COVID is the fact that we couldn't get our auditor here. Fortunately, I think that's the only remnant we're dealing with this year, so I will We will make that available, that data available for you, either on the website or Facebook, or perhaps in our Country Lines magazine or Bill stuff going forward, so that you have a better idea what that was. I'd like to take a few minutes to talk about what we've done over the past, it seems weird, we're in October, we're talking about what happened in 2021, and we're in October of 2022, so I kind of got to pull myself back. Several things happened in 2021, and we began that process in 2020. We started a new building, we started an AMI project, advanced metering, and we started developing a plan for fiber connectivity throughout our territory. None of those were small tasks, but we did manage. The building is essentially complete. The AMI project is nearly complete on the electric side. Are we all right? We're good? Yeah? Okay. Apologize for that. Testing our IT. So as I was saying, we started 3 projects in 2020. We completed one in 2021, the building. We moved in. Actually got everybody over there in December of 2021. And the AMI project is near completion on the electric side. We're going to work on the gas side this winter. And hopefully we're completed through that by the end of 2023. Fiber projects will take a little longer, but we are into it. We started up that business, and we're actually now hooking up members, so we're excited about that. Along those lines, a lot of what we've done has had an impact on our communities. The city of Onaway, the region of Onaway, even over the Montmorency, Atlanta area. We've increased hotel, the contractors we use have increased hotel space, restaurant usage, let alone property tax increases that create funds for schools, townships, fire authorities. So we're proud to be a player in our communities, and we like to think we're making a positive impact. That's the good news. The less pleasant news, as far as rates, we've increased rates on the electric side twice last year, once for energy, or this year, once for energy and once for the cost to get that energy from a substation to your meter. That cost in total is about 2 cents a kilowatt hour. 1.2 of that was energy costs. I'm sure if you're filling up a car at the gas station, you realize energy costs are going up. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. They're going to go up again about 0.4 in February of 2023 because of energy. On the natural gas side, the only thing we've had to do this year was increase our cost of energy. The cost to distribute that natural gas, we've been able to maintain that same rate for 2 or 3 years now. So that's sort of good news. Challenges we're facing they're daunting. Inflation, everybody knows it's in the news every day. It's taking a toll on our materials, our supplies, our labor of those who provide services to us. That's all pressure that we're facing. Along with that, energy costs themselves are rising. And then to compound that issue, energy availability is beginning to be a challenge. One of the things we're facing on the electric side is increased energy demand. The move to electrify as much as we can to reduce carbon footprints has caused an increase in our electricity demand, and we're not the only one. It's nationwide, and at the same time, state and federal sentiment is that we need to reduce our carbon footprint. So we're in effect reducing the availability of carbon-based electric generation. Coal plants are being retired at a rate that, frankly, is probably too aggressive. Nuclear plants are being phased out, and we're looking to rely on wind and solar to make up that difference, renewable resources. that transition that we're about to go through is going to be challenging for everybody, not just electric utilities, but members of co-ops, ratepayers in general. It's a serious consideration that we need to find a way to get through, and it's going to be a challenge. Energy costs are not going to get reduced. When you increase the demand for something but reduce the supply, that means the price is going to go up, and that's what we're faced with today, and probably for the next 5 to 10 years until we figure out the pace at which we transition to green energy has to be measured in this equation. And right now, it's falling to the wayside for the sake of a political sentiment. We need to fix that. We ourselves can't do a whole lot there. We're relying on Wolverine Power, and they're doing everything they can. We're beating the drum when we can to say, hey, slow down. We need to do this a little smarter and not be so punitive to the ratepayers. So we're doing our best.
Question for you, if I may.
Can we get to Q&A to do that? Sure. Would you mind? Okay,
Yep,
thank
no
you.
problem.
Almost done, and then we'll be there. So, thank you. Closing, I do want to thank the board and you, the members. Just so you know, our board, 2 of the directors that are incumbents spoke about the dialogue in the boardroom. As the victim of that dialogue most days, I can guarantee you that they're not kidding. The debates, the discussions we had in the boardroom are very focused and deliberate, and we always get to the right answer. And it's because of the debate and dialogue that they put us through in the boardroom. So I'll thank them for that. I'll thank you, the members, for your patience and support. And going forward, I'll ask that you continue that as we work through these times of energy uncertainty, I guess would be the best. Last thing I'd like to do is thank the employees. It doesn't get said enough, but I think I work with the best that Northeast Michigan has to offer, and they prove that to me every day. So it's a great credit to us, me as a CEO, that these folks continually meet the challenges that we face, and they do it with a smile most of the time, and their work product is unparalleled. So with that, I'll thank you, and we'll be back for Q&A in a few minutes. So.
Thank you, Tom. Prior to moving on to the next item on the agenda, I wanted to address the issue of quorum. It's been reported to me by staff that we do not have a quorum present today, and so that will affect one of the upcoming items on the agenda, which is new business. But first, unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business? Sir.
I just got a question. We're talking about all the problems with the energy here. Are we utilizing these small hydro plants that we have along the river anymore? That was my question to them.
Okay, I'd love, just so that the agenda is followed, and we're just about right there for Q&A. Is there any unfinished business? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is new business and questions and answers. And since we don't have a quorum, we can't officially conduct any new business. So we'll go right to the Q&A. And I just want to set forth the time limits on that. Time limits on questions and answers and member comment are 3 minutes per person with a 20-minute total time limit. However, if you do go to 20 minutes, you, the membership, may vote to extend that. Otherwise, we'll go on to the following item in the agenda. So at this time, we'll do member comment and questions and answers. And perhaps Tom wants to address your questions, sir. Thank you.
I would ask that those of you who have questions come up to the microphone at the center and ask them so that everybody hears them right away. I'm thinking we're going to have to do on and off microphones so we don't get them. We're good?
Yeah, my question for us is, are we utilizing the small hydro plants that we have along the rivers here in our area? Are they being utilized anymore, or are they all been shut down, or what's the situation with that?
The ones in our area, my understanding is they are utilized to some extent. We don't own those, we don't operate them. They're independent, but there is a push in the state to retire hydro facilities. I don't think that's hit Northeast Michigan yet, but that is something that we'll be keeping an eye on.
Okay, because like we have what? Just in this local area, we have the Tower Pond, you've got Alverno and Sheboygan, and I believe you have some over in the other parts of Presque Isle also, correct?
There's Tower and Cleaver Pond both.
Right.
But again, we don't own those, so I'm not sure how that production.
Yeah, but are they selling power back to you? If they're producing power, they should be able to sell it back to the co-op, I believe. Is that a true statement, or is that not?
It's sort of true. We buy all of our energy from Wolverine Power.
Okay.
So it would be coming from them to us, or they sell it on the open market.
Have we looked into utilizing any of that?
Yeah, well, we don't, Wolverine Power, as I said earlier, that's their job for us, is to source energy, and they've done a fantastic job sourcing renewable energy. Wolverine owns interest in a couple of wind farms. They've got community solar rolling, and they'll take energy from the least expensive venue possible. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Sir, yes, would you come to the...
I'm
you
trying.
Might also just state your name for...
Oh, I'm Will Sullivan. I live in South Alpena County. And you see a little bit about us getting involved in the internet. And I just wondered what's going on with that. Like we have a company called Allband down in our area. And I don't know if there's a relationship between Allband and us, or what's going on there with the internet.
Sure. Our internet project was developed, planned at the request of the board, with the board's approval, to develop a fiber optic network that would reach all of our membership. What we've found and what we've been told throughout the years is, yeah, this area has internet, this place doesn't.
Right.
Nobody's going to serve it. So in order for us to serve the entire membership, we have to build a system that goes through the entire membership.
Right.
And that's what we're planning to do over the course of 4 to 5 years. Initially offering service to our electric members because we're using our electric grid to build that system out. But we do recognize there are other providers in the area. We're not partnering with them other than occasionally on joint use issues for using our poles. But that would be the extent of it.
Is there another company trying to absorb those companies? Do you know?
Not that I'm aware of at this point, no.
Okay.
The telecommunications is a very competitive industry, so as people rise and fall, there are definitely those scenarios.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Sir? Okay, if you have questions and you plan to ask, if you want to come to the middle of the row, and then just come on up when your chance is available, that would be good. Otherwise, do what we can.
Yeah, hello everybody. My name is Bob Trower from Sheboygan. I've been a customer for quite some years, and I have to say you guys are doing a pretty good job about keeping my power on. It's really improved over the years. Now, the thing that I am here about today, this advanced metering. Anybody that hasn't looked into the health problems from these transmitting meters really needs to. I will never allow this on my property. I want to have it publicly known. If you guys want to force this on me, bring your trucks, pull my poles. I will never have this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, it's me again. Can I move this a little bit? Okay. Several years ago, there was a group of us people that went to one of the monthly meetings. We're expressing our concerns about the smart meters. So I want to thank you, Tom, and the board for following through on what you said you would do. We would have an option to opt out if we wanted to. My wife and I took the opportunity to do that. So I'd like to once again thank you for what you did. And you did just exactly what you said you were going to do. So I thank you. And do you have any figures on how many people took the opportunity to opt out?
I do. The question is how many people actually did opt out of the AMI program that we have. To date, we are about 90% deployed. We've got a couple hundred residential meters still to go. But at this point, we have probably less than 50 that are actually taking the opt-out to their original meter. We do have a handful more that have gone to the drive-by, the AMR option. But yes, at this point, it's a pretty low number.
Okay, well, thanks again.
Thank you.
You know, you hear a lot of complaints, but sometimes you don't get a lot of compliments, and this is a compliment to you, and thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
My name is Jim Patterson. I live in Atlanta. I've got a couple questions. Is that all right? Sure. Okay. Since we lost our coal-fired plant, it must be a niche that's got to be filled. What steps has the board taken to fill that so we don't have what they have in California with blackouts?
That's a good question, and it's one of the issues that I touched on earlier in my report. Our board, we are a distribution cooperative, so we purchase energy from Wolverine Power, which is a cooperative that we own along with 4 other distribution co-ops. Their task is to source that energy for us. Our task is to hold their feet to the fire so that they do that well. This board does that with 2 representatives on that Wolverine board. They are seeking alternatives to make up that difference daily. They're looking at various options through solar, through wind, through hydro, and also through existing coal and nuclear facilities. They're closing them, but that doesn't mean they're all closing. And the options that they're looking at consistently and continually involve all of the above. But it is a challenge. I'm not going to